Folks, welcome to another edition of Civil Disobedience with Vince. In this episode, I'm going to call this episode the Mapp Gun Grab. I'm saying that on purpose because when you say gun, people go, what? And it gets all sorts of attention. And I'll explain why. The governor issued an executive order in the face of Hurricane Irma, and no problems with an executive order to activate the National Guard. But what I will do, I'll break down the executive order to show you how insidious and really and truly jacked up it is. It's an effort to use an emergency, a crisis, to take away rights and liberties, freedoms. Let me break it down. Governor Mapp issued he signed an order to be effective Tuesday, September 5th, the day before the hurricane hit, as Irma approached the territory. Now let's examine this order. Paragraph 1. The governor, under his executive authority, he activated the National Guard. He finds this order to be necessary to maintain the health, welfare, and safety of we the people in the face of oncoming and very mean Hurricane Irma. Now, that's all very prudent and reasonable. Nothing wrong with that. Okay? Now, I'm going to skip over paragraph 2 for the moment and go straight to paragraph 3. In paragraph 3, he directs, authorizes, and orders the finance commissioner to spend the money as necessary. Spend the money from the treasury, such as it is, as necessary. And these costs will be borne by the VI government. So, he's opened up the piggy bank, rocking a hard place for all of us here. It's a tough call and he made it. Again, no problems with making a hard call. A legal hard call. Now, let's go to the kicker, to paragraph 2. This is where things get really interesting and insidious. The second paragraph is where our governor, in my eyes, chooses to go rogue. Allow me to parse. Here we go. He says, quote, I direct, authorize, and order. Let me stop there. Now, folks, these are very specific and very pointed words from the command authority, Governor Mapp. There is no gray area implied in those 3 words. No room for political backpedaling. I don't care what the governor says in defense of this crap, in defense of any kind of criticism he gets over this order, especially the second paragraph. He has given the Adjutant General of the VI National Guard very specific orders using those words. I direct, authorize, and order. Again, no gray area there. Okay? And I want you to keep that in mind. Then, in the same paragraph, paragraph 2, he then gives the National Guard its mission. Now, what is the mission? The mission is, quote, to maintain or restore public order and guarantee the safety of life and property. I'm going to pause there again. Okay? That's the mission. That's the mission he gave the Guard. He gave that mission in writing, to guarantee the safety of life and property. Property. Did I say property? Guarantee the safety of life and property. Let me stop digressing. But I want you to focus on that mission order. Again, the mission order is to guarantee the safety of life and property. I'm going to read it again. It's he gives the National Guard the mission in paragraph 2, to maintain or restore public order and guarantee the safety of life and property. Do I sound like a broken record yet? All right, here we go. All right, so again, I want you to focus on that mission order. He then goes on to state that this written order remains in effect until he rescinds it, either verbally or in writing, essentially until further notice. Okay? Now, folks, this is where he should have stopped. That portion of the second paragraph and up I mean, he goes on to cite Title 23. I didn't go read Title 23. Besides, I have no internet anyway until power is restored to this rock. He should have stopped there. Everything was fine with this entire executive order until he gets to this. Now, again, the mission is to guarantee the safety of life and property. That's the mission he gave the National Guard. Watch him contradict it in the same paragraph. Okay? Again, this is where he should have stopped. But no. The Governor Mapp, next chooses to further issue a contradictory, and as far as I'm concerned, I am no attorney, but I can read an illegal addition to his orders to the Guard. He again uses very specific verbiage, unambiguous, in this written order, stating the following, quote, the Adjutant General is authorized and directed to seize arms, ammunition, explosives, incendiary material, and any other property. I'm going to pause right there again. That's in the order. Okay? So, on the one hand, he's given the National Guard a mission to protect, to guarantee safety of life and property. And then in the same paragraph, he contradicts his own orders by giving the Guard an order, a direction, very specific, nothing ambiguous about it, to seize property. Forget about the guns part, okay? That's the Second Amendment issue, guns, and that's the whole distraction. You say guns, people go, what? And they start, they're totally misdirected. But that's not where you should focus, although it's important, because I don't want I digress. What's important is that all-inclusive and any other property part. So the governor contradicts himself in this order, and that's where it gets illegal. So what is it? Okay, this is pursuant to accomplishing the stated mission that in this paragraph 2, and look, to guarantee the safety and property of we the people. That is the mission he gave the Guard. That's a mission of the Guard, because the Guard is a militia, and it's composed of we the people. All right, I'm gonna take a deep breath. So which is it, Governor Mapp? Guarantee our property or seize our property? This is the order he gave. And this is in this very same second paragraph. It both contradicts itself, and it turns into an illegal order taking away rights and freedoms of we the people. Hard-earned stuff that we worked and gotten. Property comprises a whole lot of stuff, not just land and things. Land and things. Intellectual. Look. Another deep breath. Anyway, so folks, there's a definition for things like this. Okay, when somebody takes away your liberties, your rights, and your freedoms, the word for it is tyranny. Let me say it slowly. Tyranny. You don't know what that means? Look it up. All right, people, you may think I'm all up in arms because of the Second Amendment, because Mapp has issued an order to seize guns and my matches, because my matches are incendiary. It specifically says seize any and all incendiary. Well, I got a big old pack of matches here. Come and get them. I don't think so. Anyway, but that's not the real threat. It's only one of the threats. It's a serious threat, but that's not the bigger threat. Okay, the gun grab is the attention getter. That's the distraction. That's the diversion. And it's designed to get everybody's attention, mine included, because I'm a believer in the United States Constitution. I'm a believer in the Second Amendment. But it's a Fourth Amendment. The Fourth Amendment that's really got my attention on this whole deal. Okay? So here's a real threat. The violation of the Fourth Amendment, where he chooses, he orders, he directs, he authorizes in a written, unrescinded, as far as I know, because I don't have any communications. I mean, I got a little AM radio here, but there's not much going on there. he gives orders to our regulated militia, the National Guard, the VI National Guard, to seize any other property to accomplish their mission. Not only guns. Okay? I didn't read anything in that order about compensating we the people for whatever they seize. No, not there in the order at all. Okay? But, they're allowed to seize it. You earned it, they're going to seize it. It's bad enough that they got sin tax. It's bad enough that they don't pay you back your tax refund. That's your money, not theirs. It's bad enough that they run us into debt and the territory is broke. So I don't know where they're going to pay these people from. I guess we're going to get an assessment, just like we got double tapped on property taxes. In any case, that's the written order. The Second Amendment guarantees our. Okay, another deep breath. All right, here's what the Second Amendment says. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Let me say that again. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. You know why? Because the founders had just fought a big old war against a big tyrannical government. The Brits, back in the Revolutionary War. You remember the Boston Tea Party? You remember? I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff the Brits did, and the founders and the people back then said, "Oh hell no!" And this is one of the results. To counter tyranny, it's to guarantee that we the people are able to fight against an overreaching government, which is how our country was founded. And the Virgin Islands, believe it or not, are part of the United States. And say what you want about the Organic Act of 1954, we're covered under the Second and the Fourth Amendments. Anyway, I digress. Remember, folks, to subdue, you must first disarm. That's what tyrants do. It's the first order of business for a tyrant to disarm and to, so they can subdue. So the governor has ordered in writing now to take away a right that is not to be infringed. The Bill of Rights are the first 10 amendments to the United States Constitution. The Bill of Rights. Very basic, the first 10, and he has chosen to negate 2. No, that's what this is all about. That's why people like me, the people, should open up and speak out and say, hey, look, no, you ain't doing that. That's wrong. Period. Rescind the order, rewrite the order, take away that part, and you're fine. But you have chosen to take away both guns and property, and guns are property. So essentially, the Second Amendment is a subset of the Fourth Amendment because guns are property. And he is ordering the National Guard to seize. He's directing, he is ordering, he is authorizing. These are unambiguous terms. That's, Anyway, in the end, firearms are property, and the violation of our Fourth Amendment rights is a real serious issue in this case, in this order he's issued. It's insidious. I think I said that before, but it's worth repeating. Here's what the Fourth Amendment says. Our Fourth Amendment in the Bill of Rights of our U.S. Constitution. Here's what it says. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by an oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched, and the persons or things to be seized. Let's go over that again. The right of the people to be secure in their persons and houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause. There is no probable cause here, because we're law-abiding citizens. Give you no reason to have any kind of probable cause, because we're law-abiding. Supported by an oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. I could go on, I can get deeper into this. And many of you may be foolish enough to believe in benevolent tyrants. I don't. The saying, power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely, is so very apropos here. Rahm Emanuel, who is the mayor of Gun Control Central, Crime and Murder Central Chicago, he said it best. He's a Clinton crony, and he was Obama's first chief of staff. But Rahm Emanuel said it best. This is what big government and liberals do. Here's what he said. He said, never let a good crisis go to waste. Never let a good crisis go to waste. There's a lot of truth in that. And that's what they do. So don't forget, folks, liberals and big government advocates of any ilk, I don't care, the Democrat, Rhino, Republican, Independent, I don't care who they are, they're counting on you not reading the fine print. And they figure you're too stupid to figure it out or comprehend the intent, even if you do read it. What Governor Mapp has done is laid the groundwork here with this written order is for only criminals and the government to have guns, to be armed. And law-abiding citizens of the United States Virgin Islands, he is ordering that their registered weapons be seized. See, that's a real reason for gun registration. So government knows where all the lawfully acquired guns are, so they can seize them. Period. After all, they can't figure out where all the illicit guns that are committing all the crimes are, and this makes it look like they're doing something. They can't solve crimes, they can't solve murders, but they know where the legal guns are. Yeah, we're gonna go get those. Anyway, people, riddle me this. When has any criminal, under any circumstance, ever registered a firearm? Name me one. Food for thought, people. Food for thought.